Bulls Nation, today was our second last game of the season, and it was against the Brooklyn Nets, and a very healthy Brooklyn Nets at that, with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden all playing today. No Joe Harris for them, and the Chicago Bulls came into this game with a few injuries. Zach LaVine not playing, Daniel Tice not playing, obviously Troy Brown hasn't played. A few players of ours did not play in today's game, but ultimately, even if the Washington Wizards did lose their game, the Chicago Bulls season would have ended today, and it's official now. The Chicago Bulls will not make the play-in tournament. So our season has come to an end. We know what to expect from that, with one game left coming up tomorrow. Let's talk about the Chicago Bulls, and let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets. Getting ahead of myself here, and let's do it in this video. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls versus Brooklyn Nets game reaction. The Chicago Bulls in their second last game of the season, and a game that really meant nothing at the end of the day due to the fact that the Washington Wizards beat the Cleveland Cavaliers yesterday. The Chicago Bulls season ended yesterday. We know where we're going to lie, and we are going home early this year as the Brooklyn Nets and the Chicago Bulls game collided. The Chicago Bulls, with a few injuries, did not play their best basketball, and we ended up losing this game to the Brooklyn Nets. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls in today's game. And overall, now that we know that we're not in the play-in tournament, it's official. We don't have a chance. It's mathematically impossible. The playoffs is not going to be in the Chicago Bulls' future this season. Let me know what you want the Chicago Bulls to do in the offseason. That's the question now. That's where my mindset is heading towards now, as the Chicago Bulls do have one game left of the season, but most importantly, the Chicago Bulls, our future's been decided. And what should our future be now, with the offseason being the next target for the Chicago Bulls? The score for this game was 105-91. Overall, I did enjoy this game for many reasons, mainly because this game was at 3 in the morning when it started for me, and it's now 5:30 in the morning. And yeah, to say that I enjoy watching games at 3 in the morning is probably not true. So yeah, that's probably the main reason why I didn't enjoy this game. But overall, the Chicago Bulls, I think up until the fourth quarter mainly as well, even a bit of the second quarter, we didn't have great quarters in today's game. We versed a better team, and this is the thing about the Chicago Bulls. We're not the higher caliber of team. We're not a team that's going to beat the first seeded, second seeded, third seeded teams. And I think out of every single team that we verse that has high caliber, that is expected to be championship contenders, we have not come close to beating them. Or if we have come close, we haven't beaten them. And that's the situation here today, once again, against the Brooklyn Nets. The entire team healthy, were superior than the Chicago Bulls. Now, to be honest, this is something that, especially, I want to get to it in the first half, third quarter as well. We look like a team that was trying very hard in today's game. And by what I mean by that in terms of playing hard is that we gave a lot of effort, we gave a lot of energy, we crashed the boards, we hustled, we did all of those things. And the Brooklyn Nets looked like they were not even trying, to be realistic, in this game. In many instances, they looked like they weren't trying. They looked a bit off, especially in the first quarter. They didn't even look like they were ready for the game. It looked like the game got delayed by the way the Brooklyn Nets was playing. But that shows the level of these two teams. We were trying so hard to beat the Brooklyn Nets, especially make a fantastic start, which we did. And in a blink of an eye, they turned things on, and the Chicago Bulls don't have enough to capitalize on this Brooklyn Nets team. That is the message for the Chicago Bulls. The gap of these two teams is undeniable. And we all know that. Brooklyn Nets, look at their team. Of course, if you just look at the names on paper, of course they're a better team. But it's going to take a lot, and I mean a lot, of changes, potentially new players, maybe old players or current players leaving. All of these things, it's going to take a lot of investment into this team in terms of trade assets, draft, free agency, whatever the case may be, to make this team competitive in the East. And it's as simple as that. That's the situation that we have at hand. We're very, very far away from being a second-seeded, first-seeded team. But in the end, we need to do a lot more to try and put us in this playoff contention for next season. And that's the message I'm trying to say. At least this team, the gaps of these teams is just unquestionable. It's really, really far. So that's the level of the performance of today's game. Overall, I'm not really going to talk too much about the must improves and the player of the games and all that. I will give them, but the reality of this is our season is over. There's no need to criticize and bash players when we have 2 games left of the season and we already knew our fate. In the end, if we won this game and the Wizards lost their game, we still would have had a chance. But the fact of the matter is, the Wizards won their game, we lost this game, and we are out. That's all that matters now. We are out. And we did fight in this game, but overall fight wasn't enough, and we just didn't have enough in the end to overcome the Brooklyn Nets. It's as simple as that. We weren't too far away, but we were, in the end, we were very lackluster. And again, a game like this, you really wanted to see Zach LaVine play. Obviously, you wanted to see other players play like Daniel Tice. All of these situations, you want to see those players play in this game. But in the end, there's not much to play for now, so I don't mind those players sitting. The one thing I do have a little bit of a disturbance to, I'm pretty upset about, is with this game meaning not much to the Chicago Bulls. In the end, of course, we want to play to win. We wanted to win that game. I'm sure we did. I don't think there's any point in tanking for 2 games. We wanted to win this game. And for the most part, we were competing in this game. But personally, when you have nothing to play for, why are we seeing... Why are we not seeing players like Devin Dotson, players like Adam Makoka, even Felicio, the players that don't get that much game time? Why are we not seeing them get some sort of important game time for the Chicago Bulls? Now, garbage time minutes, when it's there, it's always good for those players to play in those garbage time minutes, get some experience under their belt in the NBA versus some NBA level players and see what happens. And maybe they could develop from that. But when you have literally nothing to play for now, you're not making the play-in tournament. You're not going to go down to 12th or 13th in the East. You're going to remain 11th. What is the point of playing Denzel Valentine, Ryan Arcidiacono, when these players have played already all season? They've been given their opportunities, and I really feel like this is the time. This last game against Milwaukee, I want to see Devin Dotson play important minutes for this team. I don't want to see garbage time minutes. I don't want to see him only play 2 minutes in the game. I want to see him play serious minutes in an NBA game where it does matter. And let's see what he can come up with. Let's see if he has some sort of level of talent that we could use next season or the season after. If he's going to be the future of this team, if he's going to be a part of this future, instead of seeing him play garbage time minutes. And the same goes with Adam Makoka. We brought Adam Makoka back, and he's played garbage time minutes for the majority. Why didn't he get more of an opportunity in today's game when this game did not mean much? And most importantly, we were short-staffed today. We had so many players that didn't play, yet Makoka, Dotson, Felicio, these guys only got 3-4 minutes in the game. And again, many people will laugh when I talk about Felicio, but he's definitely part of that as well. He has barely played for the Chicago Bulls, and I just feel like these players deserve, even if it's 10 minutes of a game, they deserve, I think, one of those situations where they can have some important, meaningful minutes. And maybe that could sway their decision on to keep someone or to release them, to keep Devin Dotson in their plans, or maybe they don't use him anymore. Same with Makoka. It's very unfortunate that they only got 2 minutes today, and again, that meant little to nothing towards our season. And that's really the only issue I have in this game. Again, we could talk about the style of play. None of that really matters anymore to me. I want to enjoy the next game coming up against Milwaukee. This game is down and it's done in the books. It's gone. We can't get it back. We played poorly in 2 quarters of that game, and it sealed the deal for us. We couldn't come back. So, talking about individual performers, I do want to say a huge congratulations to Patrick Williams, who had 24 points and 6 rebounds, 1 assist in today's game. Congratulations to Patrick Williams for breaking his scoring record, his career high. He's now 24 points. This was a really good game from him. I saw some fantastic highlight plays. I saw some really good shots in today's game. And again, this is the level that Patrick Williams can get to consistently. And if he can even do better than this in my eyes, consistently, as the years go by. So again, I want a little bit more responsibility that goes to him next season. And hopefully even in the next game against Milwaukee, This game could mean so much for a player like Patrick Williams if he's able to take a little bit more offensive responsibility, take a little bit more shots, take a little bit more of a playmaking side as well, and give him the ball a little bit, because I think he has the capabilities of being able to be that type of guy that can run an offense for us, even if it is only for a few possessions at a time. So I'm really happy with his performance today. Vucevic had a 10 and 10 night with 3 assists. Not the best from Vucevic. It's as simple as that. I can't really say anything else in this game about him. It wasn't his best game. It wasn't the Bulls' best game. And again, when you look at Kobe White and you look at Vucevic and you look at their stats, I think that goes to show everything that happened in this game. I'm not going to mention Kobe White. He's going to be my must improve, by the way. Thaddeus Young, 19 points, 4 assists, 13 rebounds. Again, I think he was arguably our second best player, probably our first best player for many people for Thaddeus Young. A very, very strong night offensively. He used the post effectively. Things like that. There's not really too much to say about Thaddeus Young that I haven't said already. He's been very consistent. He's done things the right way. And I think he's earned his spot for next season for the Chicago Bulls. And again, I want to see Thaddeus Young remain on this team next season, and we'll see how things go in that retrospect. Lauri Markkanen, 14 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds. Lauri Markkanen had some really good shooting today. And again, 14 points is not bad for Lauri Markkanen. In the end, I think 2 rebounds is not good enough for someone that did play 30 minutes, and same with the assist column. But again, Lauri Markkanen is not a playmaker. I don't expect him to be a playmaker, but 2 rebounds in 30 minutes I think has been poor. But the points on the points side, I don't think it's terrible from Lauri Markkanen. And that's all I'm going to really mention. Again, I wanted to see Devin Dotson get some game time today. I think it was the wrong choice to play Ryan Arcidiacono and Denzel Valentine over Mokoka and Devin Dotson. Even Felicio probably deserved more minutes. Again, there have been so many players that are on this bench that have not gotten enough game time for this team, whether it's because there was not enough opportunities or whether they're not the first choice, not the second choice, whatever the case may be. This is the opportunity to see what Devin Dotson is like in high pressure situations in the NBA level. This is what it feels like for Mokoka. See what he's like in high pressure situations at the NBA level. If these guys are not going to get a chance in the next game, what opportunity are they going to get? It's as simple as that. I don't want to wait for an injury to see Devin Dotson play meaningful minutes. We have the opportunities now with 1 game left. Obviously, this game as well that's been wasted. Give these guys some proper game time and let's see where things go from there. That's all I really want to see at the end of the day. I want to see these guys develop and I want to see them get meaningful game time. The must improve is Kobe White. At the end of the day, 34 minutes and 3 points is not great. The playmaking side was fine. Rebounding was fine. Defensively, I think Kyrie definitely got the better of him, but Kyrie gets the better of every single player that he plays against. Kyrie Irving is playing some really good basketball in recent times. And again, fair play to him. Good luck to the Brooklyn Nets in the playoffs as well. But yeah, I think for Kobe White in this retrospect, it's just the fact that he didn't make shots. It's as simple as that. And that's the reason why he's getting the must improve. At the end of the day, must improve the player of the games are meaningless now towards these 2 games, in my opinion. We'll see what happens next season with Kobe White. We'll see what happens next season for a lot of these guys. If some of these guys stay, some of these guys leave, we're going to be finding out all of these things in due time. And I think that's where the mindset goes. But the player of the game, I'm going to give it to Patrick Williams. Again, he's got his career high. It's an important game for him. It's still a game where he can learn and develop. It's still a game where he can show his caliber and his potential. And this is another game that I think he's made Bulls fans very, very happy. Even though it was at a loss, even though it is with a poor performance overall, Patrick Williams' performance makes me very optimistic. And his entire level of potential makes me very optimistic. It's just about reaching that potential. And games like this, even when it doesn't mean much, is still very important for a player in my eyes like Patrick Williams, who didn't have much of a preseason, who didn't have a summer league. He's come into this season and he's had to be put into the fire, as has most rookies. And I definitely think he's one of those players that has a tremendous upside, and hopefully he can get more experience in the NBA and he can find himself in this team. The Bulls' record is 30 and 41. In the end, it is what it is. There's not really too much to talk about in that retrospect. And the next game is against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks, do they have much to play for now? I think that their seed is locked and loaded. I don't think they're going to go into the 4th seed. The Atlanta Hawks are 5 games below them, so they're definitely not going into the 4th seed, and the Brooklyn Nets have definitely secured the 2nd seed. So the Milwaukee Bucks do not have anything to play for either, so they might rest players for this game to get ready for the playoffs, or maybe they have some players that need some game time under their legs for the playoffs. So it's going to be very interesting to see what lineup they come up with, what lineup we come up with. Again, this is the last game of the season, guys. This season has been long. It's been rigorous. It has positives, has ups and downs, exciting moments. We've competed in so many games. We've taken, in my opinion, a progression from last season, even though it's not a big one. And again, I don't even think we finished below 11th last year. I think we finished 10th last year. We finished 11th this year. So many could see that as a downgrade as well. But I think in terms of the way that we've played, overall, I think that we've had a slight progression this season. And again, this was an experimental season for the Chicago Bulls. And we know what this team is at. With the trades or without the trades, we are still a team that cannot make the playoffs at this point in time. So now it's up to Arturius, it's up to Billy, it's up to Eversley, it's up to the front office and the management team now to choose and select which players should come into this team to make us a better team. And pick the right players. Pick the players that will suit our team, suit Billy Donovan's play style, and let's see what we can do next season. Next season is going to be a very important season for us. This season was an experimental one, but again, we all had hopes we could make the playoffs with this team before the trades and after the trades, and that didn't happen, and it's sad, but unfortunately, it is what it is, and we can't really complain about that now. So hopefully, we could get more news about this, the front office, the people that could be coming into this team sooner than later, and again, we shall wait and see how that goes. It's going to be very upsetting watching the play-in tournament, watching all these teams play in a spot that I think we should be in, I think we deserve to be in. But ultimately, when you lose games, when you give away games, when you come close in games, but you can't end the games, you can't finish them, this is the result that you get. So we're going to have to wait and see. Enjoy the last game against the Milwaukee Bucks for all Chicago Bulls fans, because now after that, we're going to be looking at a lot of teams in the playoffs, and none of them are our teams. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that goes. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you're new. 5:30 in the morning, that's a very, very, very difficult time to watch an NBA game, to say the least, especially when you're down in the 4th quarter. That was a very hard watch for me. But in the end, the next game against Milwaukee won't be so early for me, and we're gonna have to wait and see how that goes. Again, win or loss, I want to see Dotson, I want to see Makoka. Those are the only things I'm going to ask for Billy Donovan. I want to see those 2 players play. And if they do play, if they do well, they don't do well, at least there's some serious minutes in there for them, and they can grow from that. Take care, and peace.